Yeah, that look good. That look good. Hold on, let me share it out.
It is. Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohan. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible. And a white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Today we're going to get into something a little interesting today. You know, we all know that coronavirus is running rampant. It's now hit the states. Started up there, what's that, in Seattle, Washington? We got that virus up there in Seattle, Washington, right? The crazy thing is a lot of people haven't even realized that it hasn't hit our people. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people looking at that virus and they are fearful. I'm not fearful of that virus at all, because I know the Most High brought that virus. I know the Most High is controlling everything that's happening today. A lot of us don't even realize that, like I said before, that virus is not hitting us. It's the reason why that virus is not hitting us, because we are not the evil upon the face of the earth. The Most High is attacking the enemies of his children. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, and it's all written out. It's written out plain in the Bible. The Bible explains all of this. You know, he has hardened the heart of our oppressor. Our oppressor does not believe that it's coming from the Most High. You know, just like in Egypt, the heart of Pharaoh was hardened. His heart was hardened through all of those plagues. This is just the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me? Come on.
Feel you.
This is only the beginning of the end of our oppressor's reign. You know? So let's grab a scripture. Let's start off with that Exodus chapter 9. And we're going to start up there at verse 8.
Okay.
We'll start at that verse 8. And we're going to read a little bit, and we're going to get a little bit of understanding about plagues. See, a lot of us don't know what plagues are. You understand what I'm saying? What are plagues? You know, let's ask ourselves, what are plagues? Plagues are anything that goes against the Most High, that destroys us, that we do that destroy us. Let's take a plague. A plague, smoking cigarettes is a plague. Getting high is a plague. Killing our own people is a plague. A lot of things are plagues. But this coronavirus, this is a special plague right here. It's a special plague because it's a plague that's not set upon our people, which a lot of people haven't realized. You understand what I'm saying? But let's just go into Exodus right now.
The book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh.
He said, let Moses sprinkle it in the sight of Let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh. Let Pharaoh see what you're doing. Understand? Go ahead.
Verse 9. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt.
It shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt. Read.
And shall be a boil breaking forth with blains unto man.
Read that again.
And shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man.
It says, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man. Boils coming out of man. Go ahead.
And upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt.
And upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. Upon the Egyptians and upon their beasts, which is their livestock. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven. And it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts. Verse 11. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils.
Say that again.
And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils.
Why couldn't the magicians stand before Moses?
Because of the boils.
Because of the boils. These boils were painful. You understand? This was a plague that was brought by the Most High upon the Egyptians. This was a plague. And the magicians couldn't stand before Moses. They stood before Moses and everything else. When when he turned his staff into a snake, they stood before him, right? When he did turn the waters into blood, right? They tried to come back at him and everything, but they could not stand before him because of those boils, because those boils came upon them too. This was a plague upon everybody in Egypt, or all the Egyptians and their beasts. And that plague is just like that coronavirus that's being spread right now. The Most High brought this coronavirus onto our oppressor and into the heathen nation. You understand? The Most High is protecting his children. Our oppressor does not understand that right now, you know? And the oppressor's heart has been hardened. He thinks he is the might upon the face of the earth, but he doesn't understand that the Most High is the might upon the face of the earth. The Most High makes everything upon the face of the earth walk and run and work. He makes everything go the way it's supposed to go. Our oppressor is just that, an oppressor. He doesn't control what happens upon the face of the earth. We being destroyed by our oppressor because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We have left the Most High. And that's the reason why we are being oppressed today. But this coronavirus is brought upon by the Most High. And our oppressor doesn't know what to do about this. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the reason why this coronavirus is just, they don't know what to do about it. I was watching CNN today, and they brought in all of their top scientists and doctors and everybody across the face of the earth. You understand, that they could grab. You know, they trying to do everything to keep it out of the states, but it already entered into the states. And if I'm not mistaken, what we got, 43 cases now?
I thought it was a little more than that, but let me look it up for you.
In the States, it's
in the States.
I'm gonna say 43. That's what I heard today.
You heard that today?
And think about it. Just last week, it was only 2, right?
Yeah.
It was only 2 last week. We up to 43 already. So just imagine, you know? I mean, this is the Most High at work, because our oppressor, he thought he had everything corded off. He thought he had this virus contained, you know. But when the Most High wants something to hit his enemy, there's nothing that the enemy can do to stop the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing that he can do. Where we at, Bmore?
You're right. It says 48, actually.
Oh, so it's at 48?
48 up to date, 3,000 worldwide.
3,000 worldwide. No,
3,000.
It's 3,000 deaths worldwide.
Wait a minute. You're right.
And
3,000 death
like
toll tops 3,000.
67,000. What is it? 67,000 cases?
Come.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
Coronavirus death toll tops
Right.
3,000.
Tops 3,000. And if I'm not
The
mistaken,
wild.
it should be 67,000. I've been watching that close on CNN. You know, that's all they've been talking about.
67 over 67,000 infections.
There you
Come.
go. Yeah.
Come.
I've been watching that.
Absolutely correct.
You know, so listen. 3 weeks ago, they talked how, oh yes, the United States, oh we got it, we got this under control. And you see how it doesn't matter what you think you got. The Most High controls everything upon the face of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High controls. It says, what's the scripture say? Consider the works of God. Consider the works of God. You understand what I'm saying? It says consider. That means ponder. That means think about what the Most High can do. Think about what He has done. He has created everything on the face of this earth. Yeah, man put things together and created them, or what did we say? He has invented things that the Most High has allowed him to invent. But everything that was put upon the face of this earth, the Most High put it on this earth. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing that the Most High didn't have a hand in. Just like I said, this coronavirus, when the Most High works, there's nothing you can do to stop it. You understand? Where we at, Bmore?
I got before you go there, I got a little news story for you. You can break it down.
Go ahead, hit that
real
news
quick.
story.
Coronavirus live updates. Washington County declares state of emergency as death toll total rises.
Stop right there. He said Washington State declares a state of emergency. Think about this, right? Just like you said before. 3 weeks ago, they thought that they had this virus under control. Consider the works of God. No matter what you think you can do, the Most High can do it thousands of times over with just a flick of the wrist. Remember that song, Just a Flick of the Wrist? With just a flick of the wrist. You understand what I'm saying? No matter how much power you think you wield, the Most High has power in a single fingernail and can destroy you with just a flick of the wrist. Go ahead, read.
A viral outbreak that began in China has since spread to every continent across the globe except Antarctica, infecting nearly 90,000 people. Although the spread of the novel coronavirus appeared to be slowing down in China, it has picked up.
Hold up for a minute. Let me ask you a question, right? When did they put that second part on it? Because at first they were just calling it coronavirus. When did they put the novel on it?
Novel?
Yeah, novel.
Although the spread of the novel coronavirus.
First it was just the coronavirus. But now they put novel coronavirus on it. But anyway, go ahead.
I'll find out what it means.
Yeah,
I'll find out what it means in a minute.
How about this? Hold up. I want to look that up now. What does that mean?
You want to look that up now?
Yeah.
Novel.
I mean, think about it, right? When this coronavirus hit, it was straight just coronavirus. And I just noticed this last week that they put the novel on front of it. And they probably been doing it for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. Novel.
Let's see. Novel definition. New and not resembling something formerly known or used.
So let me ask you this, does that mean that this is a new strain that quick? Now, I'm only asking this. I'm I'm not insinuating nothing, right?
Right.
But think about
Right.
this, right?
Right.
Well, did they have the coronavirus, and then a new strain broke out? So they put the Nobel on the end of it, on the front of it. A new strain, never been seen. Think about it. Because the first couple of weeks the coronavirus hit, they were just calling it coronavirus. Now all of a sudden, now it's Nobel coronavirus. And I noticed that in the papers and on TV, they don't call it coronavirus anymore. So it's a new strain. This strain of coronavirus has already mutated into something that they probably can't control. This is incredible. I mean, think about it, right? The last couple of weeks, it's only been the coronavirus. Now it's the Nobel corona. I mean, come on now. This is crazy. A fictitious. What's going on, sis?
Nothing much.
Right.
You need anything else? The tables? Little table?
No, I'm good.
You good?
I got nothing to write with.
Hey, people are paying right here.
Okay.
What you need? You got something for it?
Yes. The water.
The water.
I am the bar.
Yeah.
Get that,
The water.
Oh yeah. You gonna get the rest of this story?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Go ahead, get the rest of that story.
That's a heavy point you made though.
Yeah.
Although the spread of the novel coronavirus appeared to be slowing down in China, it has picked up spread elsewhere in the world, including in the United States. Pence says all passengers from Italy and South Korea will be screened before flying to the U.S.
Let me ask you a question. Stop right there, right? Let me ask you a question. Have they said anything about South America? Central America? Anything about Hawaiian Island?
Hawaiian Islands were infected.
Yeah. Hawaiian Islands? No Central and South America, right?
Not yet. It does say, let me see. It doesn't say specifically about South America.
Right.
It doesn't.
I mean, I'm only getting that, right? And I know, you know, we got brothers and sisters all over, right? And just like we got brothers and sisters all over, you know, we got the Europeans all over too. But when you look at this coronavirus, right? It has hit the heathen nations heavy and the European nations heavy.
China.
You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that it's not going to hit in North and Central, or no, North and South America, or South and Central America, North and, you know what I'm saying, in Central and South America. But if you look at the way it's going, and look at the epicenter, right? Look at China, right? This is ground zero for the coronavirus. The last couple of months, they've been showing these Chinese doing what?
Eating
Eating what?
abominations.
Everything that is an abomination to the Most High. At first, when I first saw it, I thought it was like a lot of hoaxes, right? I thought it was just, you know, how people can doctor what's the names, right? But
Con.
We've already known for years that they've been eating dog and cat. We know that.
Con.
You understand? But last year, I watched the Vietnamese chop the rats up. You understand what I'm saying? We watching them eat bats. We watched the little girl pull out the python from out of the ground out of Vietnam and chop it up and cook it.
Con.
You understand what I'm saying? We watched them eat octopus live. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that goes against the Most High. And the thing about it is, at first they used to keep a lot of it under wraps. And now they exposing everything and they not even hiding it anymore. Now, I want to go, I'm not going to go too far off, but think about this. In the 80s and the 90s, who ate calamari? Black people definitely didn't do it, right? But now, you watching black people going and eating a whole lot of calamari and all of the things that these other nations do.
Con.
Things that we didn't do. I see a lot of black people now eating rare steak.
Con.
Steak with blood coming out of it. That's what our oppressor does. You understand? The Most High tells us what? Learn not the way of the heathen. And we go against everything that the Most High tells us to do. This is the reason why we suffer the way we suffer. Because we have fallen away from the Most High and fallen in love with our oppressor. We have fallen in love with the customs and culture of our oppressor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as we fall in love with that, let me get I got the scripture for that.
Mm-hmm.
Judah, let's go to the Apocrypha. Judah 5:17. Judith 5, chapter 17.
The book of Judas,
Book of Judah.
chapter 5 and verse 17.
Let's just get to it first. Let me know when you got it, sis. Got it? Go ahead.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God.
It says, and whilst they sinned not. While we were not sinning before our God. Go ahead.
They prospered.
They what?
They prospered.
Say it again.
They prospered.
It says, while we sinned not against our God, we prospered. As long as we followed the law, statutes, and commandments, we prospered. The Most High blessed us with everything that we needed and some of the things that we wanted when we followed the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, read.
Because the God that hateth iniquity,
Say that again.
because the God that hateth iniquity,
Because the God that hateth iniquity, because the God that hateth sin, because the God that hateth transgressors, read,
was with them.
was with them. While we sinned not, the Most High allowed us to prosper. You understand what I'm saying? He allowed us to prosper. And this is when we go out there on the weekends and we stand out there on those corners and we telling our brothers and sisters to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. We telling them to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments because we know that while they sinned not before their God, they prospered. Because the God that hated iniquity was with them. We know that if they come back, God is going to be with us and God is going to help us to rise. He's going to put us on top. We will not be on the bottom. We just trying to get our people to come back so that the Most High will hear our cries and answer our prayers. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them,
They departed from the way which he appointed us. Listen, when we left and we turned our backs on the Most High, and we left the way that He appointed us, we walked off of this straight and narrow path, and we decided to take that long and crooked path.
Come.
From the way that He had showed us, when we decided to start getting high, when we decided to start backbiting and killing our brothers and sisters, when we decided to follow the way of the heathen, when we decided to start eating that calamari, that shrimp, crab, and lobster, this is when we began to fall. Listen, think about this, right? Hey, come on, we both, well, shit, all three of us were born in the crack epidemic, right? We all were born in the crack epidemic. I saw crack, and I was right there with crack. You understand what I'm saying? Think about it. The moment you decide to smoke crack, what happens? Your whole life goes to hell. Crack was an evil spirit to smoke. And think about it, right? You knew, everybody knows what happens when you smoke crack, right? But you smoke it anyway. Everybody knows what happens when you smoke weed, but you smoke it anyway. Everybody knows on the box of the cigarettes, it got what? Cause and cancer, but you smoke it anyway. You understand? That's an evil spirit, and as soon as you turn to that evil spirit and away from the Most High, you are a destroyed person. We walk right into sin and iniquity because we follow the way of the heathen, because we fall into the customs and culture of our oppressor, because we fall so head over heels in love with our oppressor, we begin to eat that calamari. We begin to destroy our brothers and sisters. We begin to smoke that weed. We begin to get high. You understand? We begin to steal from our brothers and sisters. We begin to what's that called? Underhanded. When you deceive our brothers and sisters. We become deceitful.
John.
These are all ways of the heathen. You understand? These are all ways of our oppressor. Think about it. This country was built on rape, robbery, and murder, right? The heathen rapes, robs, and murder. Our oppressor rapes, robs, and murder. These are not our culture. But because we follow our oppressor, we rape, we rob, and we murder. We rape, rob, and murder last, but we get convicted first. Why do we get convicted first? Tell me why we get convicted first.
Because we bad criminals. We ain't supposed to be criminals.
Listen, hold on. Listen, look, come on. You right there, right? Think about it. Think about it again. Why do we get convicted first?
Because we made a covenant.
Go ahead. You got it. Listen, that's right, right? Listen. These are the ways of the heathen. This is the way the Most High made them. You understand? But he says when we follow their ways, we have to be the one that he pays and pays back for our iniquity. We have to pay for our transgression. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
Trevor said we're not supposed to be criminals.
Exactly. We're not supposed to. Trevor, you're right. We're not supposed to be criminals because the Most High gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. And because he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, we always look at when white people go, when our oppressor goes to court, they always get off, right? They are supposed to get off. This is their world. You understand what I'm saying? This is their world. They're supposed to get off. We are supposed to suffer. Because think about it. If you wasn't rape, robbing, and murder, then we wouldn't end up in court and we wouldn't be convicted. Now, listen, Zephaniah 2:1 says what? Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather yourselves together. O nation not desired. We already know we are the nation not desired, right? He says, if you know you're the nation not desired, gather yourself together, When you gather yourself together, you have to move away from something and come to something, right? He says, gather yourself together. He says, leave those other nations alone and come to your people. If you come to your people and we live amongst our own, what happens? They can't convict us of crimes. Why can't they convict us of crimes? Because we don't live amongst them and we're taking care of our own. It says, gather yourself together. Yeah, gather yourself together. O nation not desired. Listen, when it says gather yourself together, it means in one frame of mind. You understand? When it says gather yourself together, listen, people can gather themselves together, right? People can gather themselves together, but not be on the same accord. This is why the Black Panthers didn't work out. This is why the NAACP doesn't work out. This is why voting doesn't work out, because you got a lot of people that gather themselves together, but are not on one accord. This is the reason why the ISUPK is successful as it is, because we come together, we gather ourselves together on one accord. You understand what I'm saying? He says, gather yourself together. Yea, gather yourself together, O nation not desired. We already know we are the nation not desired, so we have to come together. Think about this, right? And I talked about this before. In 1865, all the way till 1960, 55 years, we had millionaires. You understand what I'm saying? And we had successful and thriving communities, right? We had thriving communities because of what?
The governance that we used to have in the community.
You're exactly right.
Give her a hand. That's damn right.
That's exactly right, because we had communities and we were gathered together as one. But the most important part was because integration had not yet set in, we had to depend on our own because they did not want us amongst them. You understand what I'm saying? They did not want us amongst them, so we had to depend on one another. We had to gather ourselves together. We had to be together on one accord because we knew that whatever venture we went into, it had to be successful. You understand what I'm saying? And the only way you can have a venture to be successful is if you are on one accord. Like I said before, you can have people come together and not be on one accord, and it be a flop. And we have seen that time after time after time. Think about this, the Christian church. If I'm not mistaken, Kawan, you said since 1980, the Christian church has had how many billions of dollars? $430 billion?
Something like that.
20 billion?
Hundreds of billions, yeah.
Hundreds of billions. Let's just go with that. Let's just go with the hundreds of billions of dollars, right? Hundreds of billions of dollars can do what? Correct everything in the Black community. When I say Black, I mean Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That could correct everything. But because those bastards are so selfish, only a few men have had those billions of dollars. The Black community has suffered since integration, since Martin Luther King. The Black community has suffered. You understand what I'm saying? And because we follow our oppressor, these are the things that we go through. Now, let's get back to that. Where were we at?
We are at 18. They were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
They were destroyed in many battles, very sore. We are destroyed every day in many battles. Our brothers and sisters are shot dead on the street by police. Battle after battle after battle. And we can't even really say it's a battle, it's a rout. Because once these police and once these people are brought into court for justice, justice is never seen in our favor. You understand? That's a battle very soon. Think about it. They kill your brother on the street, right? Then you think you're going to go to court and you're going to get justice, and then they set him free and he smile in your face.
John.
That's a battle very sore right there.
Come.
That's like salt in a wound. You understand what I'm saying?
Come.
That's salt in a wound. We are a destroyed people for a lack of knowledge.
Come.
Most High says what? We are stiff-necked people. You know what? I never thought I'd see the day. First off, I never thought I'd see the day where our people would be eating steak raw.
Come.
Let alone calamari and all of this other stuff that we know we're not supposed to be eating. It's I understand the parts of the pig that they gave us from slavery, right? I never liked them anyway, so but you can kind of understand some of that stuff because of the positions we were put in, the conditions we were under. You understand what I'm saying? Because of the conditions we were under, you can understand some of that. But when you right here now in the 2000s, right, we still a slave. But some of the things that we do are house nigger stuff. And because we want to be so far up in our oppressor's ass, we want to do what the oppressor does because we think it makes us look good in his eyes. You understand? So that's why a lot of us hang out with our oppressor after work. We want to go out, we want to have drinks, and we want to do all the stupid stuff that they do. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Wong.
Come. And were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
We all know this land is not ours, right? We were laid captive, right? We laid captive every day we follow our oppressor. Every day we follow our oppressor into that Christian church, we are laid captive. Every time we follow our oppressor into that mosque, we are laid captive. We are laid captive right here in the mind. Christianity has totally destroyed our people. You feel it? Islam has totally destroyed our people. We got millions upon millions of people, of our brothers and sisters, in Islam. And we got millions upon millions in Christianity. You can always tell a Christian. You know how you can tell a Christian? They don't want to help their people. Anybody who's not in this ISUPK is a Christian. What is Islam? Islam is Christianity anyway, too.
Come.
All of it is a religion that suppresses our people. Anytime you in a religion that is not of your own, you are a slave to the people who own that religion. You in Christianity, you are a slave to our oppressor. We already slaves to him, but you are mind trapped, just like Islam. How can you be into Islam when that's an Arab religion? It's bad enough that they sold us to our oppressors, but now you want to bring their religion with you right across here while we in captivity. You understand? We are a destroyed people for a lack of knowledge. These are the things that happen to us. This is why we can't move forward. But this is why the Most High sends us out under the commanding General Hana out in those corners on Saturday to turn our people back, to the Most High. Go ahead, one read.
Come. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground.
Was cast to the ground. Go ahead.
And their cities were taken by the enemies.
And their cities were taken by the enemy. Let's drop that. Go to that Michael 4:11.
Come.
Oh, no. Back. Let's go back to the Psalms 89 and 23.
Come.
Psalms 89 and 23.
The book of Psalms, chapter 89 and then verse 23. The book of Psalms, chapter 89, verse 23. And I will beat down his foes before his face. And I will beat down his foes before his face.
I will beat down his foes before his face. Now let me ask a question. How will he beat down his foes? How will he beat down our foes before our face? How will he do it? Or should I say, why would he do it? Why would he beat down our foes before our face? We got some people online.
Come, Salakia.
Let's see if the people online can answer that.
Well, you got a question.
Okay.
Arabah Shemayim, can you explain Matthew 15 and 11? But go ahead and do what you're doing right now, and then you can get back to that.
Okay.
Get back to it.
All right, where was we at?
You was still breaking down verse 23. And I will beat down his foes before his face.
Okay, now why would he beat down our foes? What would make him beat down our foes before our face? That's it. What would make the Most High destroy our enemies before us?
So we can witness his right.
What would make him do it? What? All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. What action would we have to do to make him do it? I got something for you. What is it?
Not following the law and the commandments.
Not,
They were not doing what we're supposed to do with the laws.
but he would, see it says, and I will beat down his foes before his face. He will beat down our foes before our face if we follow the law, statutes. Go ahead, Kawan.
Come. And plague them that hate him.
And plague them that hate him. Whoa. Say that again.
And plague them.
And plague them. Man, what is a plague? What's a plague?
It's something like what they do, like something that he put on them, like they have done, like something like maybe have like a bunch of insects flying all over the place, and their eyes.
Hey, you're right. But look, check this out. Today, right? We talked about it earlier.
I got the definition of the word plague.
Get the definition from you, plague.
Definition of the word plague: a disastrous, evil, or affliction, calamity.
Listen. A disaster, a affliction, a calamity. Listen. A disaster, an explosion, an affliction, a disease, or what was the other one?
That was A. You want B or you want A again?
No, give me what you read to me.
A disastrous evil or affliction, a calamity.
Or affliction or calamity, an earthquake, a disease, an explosion. You understand what I'm saying? A disease, a plague, that coronavirus, that's a plague. It is affecting people all across the face of the earth.
Let me read B for you.
Read B for me. Read B for me.
A destructively numerous influx or manipulation of a noxious animal or infestation.
Animal or infestation. Now, when they say infestation, it doesn't necessarily have to be an animal or a bug. An infestation can be a disease too.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? This coronavirus is an infestation. Listen, they can't control it. You understand what I'm saying? The United States thought they were home free. Oh, we good. No, Most High says you are not good.
Hey, it's like, didn't Trump say it was a hoax?
Wait. He did the elementary school the day before yesterday, right? This is what he said. Oh, well, maybe it'll just go away. You know what I mean? Like a kid.
Yeah.
You understand? Listen, this United States, right? They picked the best person they could have ever picked to be president. Because first off, this is a wake-up call for our people to come back to the Most High, because he tells you exactly how he feels about you. You understand what I'm saying? When he got, listen, before he got elected, what did he say to black people? He said, listen, you elected, he said, you voted for Obama, and what did it get you? So why not vote for me? What else can happen? You understand what I'm saying? Listen, he is the best president in the world because he is foolish. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, this country is in turmoil because of who is running the country. These are a box of fools running the country. The things that they do with this country doesn't have to be. Listen, McDonald's is a multi-trillion-dollar a year operation, right? They can pay every employee $30 an hour and still make the market like they have been doing. But because they are an oppressive people, they pay you $7 an hour. They pay you $7.35. Listen, no person can live off of $7.35 an hour and survive in this world. You understand? And when I say world, I'm talking about in this culture that we live in right here. You understand what I'm saying? This is a plague. Our oppressor is a plague in himself. And because we follow our oppressor, we have been plagued. We have taken on a disease. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High said what? He said it before, gather yourselves together here, gather yourself together on what you not desire. He said to gather, whenever you gather, whenever people gather, people come away from whatever they were doing and come together on one accord. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever you gather together, you stop what you are doing here and you come here. You understand? So in order to gather, you got to stop what you're doing, put down what you're doing, and come and do something else. This is the way the Most High operates. We are in the plague of our oppressor. We are being destroyed every day in the street. That's a coronavirus for us. Our oppressor has been a coronavirus for over 400 years to us. We have been castrated. We have been hung. We have been brutally beat. We have been raped. We have been robbed. Our names, our heritage, our culture have been stolen from us. And the people who stole it from us took it and called themselves us. That's a virus in itself. You understand what I'm saying? That's a virus in itself. We have had the coronavirus for over 400 years. If it wasn't for the Most High, we would have dissipated years ago. But he didn't mean for them to destroy us off the face of the earth. And this is the reason why we're still here today. You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why we're still here today.
John, the sister had the question. So the sister, Arabah Shemayim, who is my rib.
Okay. What's that question? What's Miss Polite question?
Yeah, I'm gonna deal with it. No. All right. Matthew.
You want to go to that?
Matthew 15 and 11. Yeah.
You want to hold here and go to that? Let's hold here and go to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna deal with the question. Matthew 15 and 11. She may be referring to, all right, what goes in. She may be referring to unclean foods.
Okay.
That the bat, the snails, and the rats, and the garbage that they eating,
right,
is not defiling the man going in. I'm assuming this might be what she mean. Arabah Shemayim.
Answer, is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? The things that we take in? And see if she answered that.
All right, we'll see. Folks, Arabah Shemayim. Are you referring to? Do you think that this is talking about the foods that you take in to your system that's not defiling you? Let's read the scripture.
Right.
I'll read the scripture. As me being a husband, I'll answer the question.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Are you sure
we'll let Christ answer the question.
How about that?
So let's
It's in red.
All right. Let's let Christ answer the question. So read this for me, brother.
Okay,
Matthew 15 and 11.
I got this. Matthew chapter 15, verse 11. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which come out of the mouth defileth a man.
All right, I got you. So this is actually an answer that Christ is answering. He's saying, not that which goeth into the mouth that defileth a man, but what cometh out of the mouth defileth a man. You want to answer this? You got to answer. Go ahead.
Hey, listen.
Go ahead.
It's not speaking about what a person is eating. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when you speak into a person, it's what you speak, it's what comes out, it's what's in your heart or in your mind that defile it. When you're not thinking in the way of the Most High, you have a defiled heart. That comes out of your mouth. When you talk about your brothers and your sisters, come on. What's the scripture when the poor man and the rich man went into the temple and the man said, "I'm glad I'm not like him." You know what I'm talking about? He said, I said, it was what was in his heart that defiled him. The poor man came into the temple and he prayed to take certain things away from him, but the other man said, he prayed, and I'm only paraphrasing that, "I'm glad I'm not like him." You understand what I'm saying? General Muhammad just did this one. I just watched the what's name a couple of weeks ago when he did that. I can't remember the scripture. But it's what goes, it's not about what you eat. It's about what you speak.
Well, Christ answers the question at 17.
And 17 says, it's Matthew chapter 15.
I read it. Matthew 15 and verse 17. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the drought? 18. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man.
There you go, right there. That's what defiles the man. It comes from his heart, his speech. Whatever you thinking, that's what comes out of your mouth. When you living in your oppressor's world, and you still begin to think like the oppressor, that's the things that tell you, let's integrate. Let's celebrate Christmas. Let's celebrate Thanksgiving. These are the things that come out. Let's destroy. Let's sell drugs. Let's do this against our brothers and sisters. You understand? That which defileth the man. That comes out of the mouth defileth the man.
It come forth from the heart. The heart
from the heart
is the.
Yeah, that's what I said. The mind. That's what I said.
The heart is the mind.
This is what they're talking about, God. This is where your heart is. It's what's in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
This is what defileth the man. Because what is in your mind comes out of your mouth. You understand? This is why Catherine Pugh got them 3 years in Fed prison and 3 years of probation. Because she decided to live the life of her oppressor. But her oppressor quickly reminded her of who she was. You understand what I'm saying?
In verse 19. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts.
Proceed evil thoughts. Look, we just talked about that, right? When you in your oppressor's world, your oppressor's thoughts become your own. Think about it, right? We got a black commissioner, a mayor, we got black city councilmen, we got black everything, but we suffer. How can we suffer when we have black everything? Because for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts. When our people sit in those seats of high stature, we have evil thoughts. And when you have evil thoughts, what happens? Finish that, come on.
Murderers.
We become murderers.
Adulteries.
We become adulterers. Go ahead.
Fornications.
We become fornicators. Go ahead.
Thefts.
We become thieves.
False witnesses.
False witnesses, putting our own people in jail. That happens with the Baltimore City Police every day. We got brothers, we got fellow Judites on the police force putting our people in jail. What's that? The purple people? That's the purple?
Okay.
The ones that's the police?
Okay. IUIC.
IUIC? They black, they brothers. They fellow Judites putting us in jail on false charges. You understand what I'm saying?
Blasphemies.
That's murder in itself. Go ahead.
Blasphemies.
Blasphemers.
Verse 20. These are the things which defile a man.
These are the things which defile a man. You heard that?
But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. So she wants to know if it's speaking about food.
Sis, it ain't speaking about food. Not today, but are you hungry? Because you can eat a hamburger if you want. You know, it ain't talking about food. It's talking about following behind our oppressor. What we talked about earlier about the calamari.
Right.
You understand? What we talked about earlier about throwing our own people in jail under false charges. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about selling drugs to our own people. You understand?
Yes. Kind of.
These things defile the heart. What we said. These are the things that defile the man. Those evil thoughts. And we get all of our evil thoughts from our oppressor. We get all of our evil thoughts from the heathen nations, being around these heathen nations and living amongst them and wanting to be with them. You understand? Integration. This is what destroyed us. Think about this, right? Right in 1865, we got emancipated. Right after 1865, right into the early 1900s, we already had millionaires. Why do we have millionaires? Because nobody wanted to hire a nigga. Nobody wanted to deal with a nigga, so we had to gather ourselves together. O nation not desired. We were a people not desired. We are a people not desired to this day. You understand what I'm saying? We are a people not desired to this day. But the only difference is now we forcing ourselves on them.
John.
Why would you sit at a lunch counter, allow people to spit in your face,
John,
allow people to bang you upside the head, allow people to kick you and stomp you to make you food in the back that they can spit in?
John.
How stupid is that? You understand what I'm saying? How stupid can you be? This is what integration does to us. This is why we are a destroyed people. This is why we in the condition that we in today. Because we forcing ourselves on a nation that does not love us. And when you force yourself, you forcing yourself to snatch the crumbs from their table, to snatch their customs and culture from their table, to be like them. You understand what I'm saying? And when you forcing yourself on them, you take on their customs and culture. And this is the reason why we are #1 in heart disease. We have fibroids and thyroid. We murder black on black crime. Not to say that white on white crime is higher, but still, black on black crime is not a natural thing with us. But it has been happening so long that we think it's natural. You understand what I'm saying? Black on black crime been happening so long that we think it's natural. When somebody gets shot, it's like, remember in the early 80s, right? From the 70s into the 80s, when somebody got shot, it was like, oh, you understand what I'm saying? Now it's like, no, or maybe I killed,
we being like them.
Yeah, being like them. Being like them. You know, murder is natural for them. Listen, believe it or not, they had over, last year they had over 200 mass shootings. They had mass shootings they didn't even tell you about. You understand what I'm saying? These heathen, this is normal for them. The Civil War, that was like a holiday for them. That's a holiday. The Civil War, all of that murder for them, that was a holiday. The Civil War, that was a holiday. They had a ball. And then they got back together and shook hands. You understand what I'm saying? That's not natural for us. You can't see nowhere in the Bible where we civil warred with each other and destroyed that many people. That doesn't happen. We kill each other, but not on the scale that they do. Go ahead.
The oppressor last year raped 5,039 women.
Listen, the oppressor raped 5,039 women. That's the oppressor. Now, what was ours?
1,544.
1,544.
We acting like them.
We acting like them, but they had surpassed us almost 3 to 4 times. 5,000 to 1,500. You understand what I'm saying? They had 3 times us. You understand? But on their news, they make it seem like it's us. You understand what I'm saying? And if I'm not mistaken, the percentage is like 72% to 23 or 24%. If I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Bmore? Did I hit that?
You're talking about the percentage of population?
The percentage of the rate. What was the percentage?
As in, well, white on white rate 87.2%. So most white women that are raped, that are attacked and raped and brutalized and assaulted by white men.
And think about this, right? They came out with that number, right? Think about all of the white women that were raped that didn't report it.
Good.
So that number surpasses that by many times, because we already know, especially in these white colleges, these white boys is raping these white girls all the time.
Good.
This is a natural, normal thing. I know a couple of females that was in the army that got raped.
Good. Good.
They said that's natural for them in the army. That's why we tell our sisters, don't get into this armed force.
Right.
Because this is what the oppressor does.
Right.
The oppressor by nature is a rapist.
God.
You understand what I'm saying? Not to mention the sisters that they murdered in there to cover up the rape. They put acid on the sister's genitals and on her hands, so they couldn't get any DNA off of the sister after she was murdered. This is what they do. Think about this, right? Think about this, right? This is, if I'm not mistaken, this was in Afghanistan, right? Look at it like this. Now, I ain't taking up for the heathen, right? But if an Arab raped one of our women, why would they want to cover it up? They in this country, right? If you fall out of bounds, that's on you. Why would they want to cover it up? They wouldn't give a damn, right? You fighting for the oppressor, she deserved everything she got, right? So who could that be? The oppressor. Mm-hmm. This is what they do. But there's I want to say the simplicity of their mind. Their minds are so one track.
Carnal.
It's carnal, but it's one track. It's easy to follow. You understand what I'm saying? But because they have the judiciary system, because they run all of the systems, when they go to court, it ain't gonna stick anyway. You know, this is why they can shoot a brother in the back and get off of murder. I fear for my life. Think about it, right? And that's the cry right there. I fear for my life. You understand? So if I shoot you in the back, automatically they probably be in line of, look, boy, if you shoot somebody, just say you fear for your life.
Exactly.
You know? God. I fear for my life. I saw him and I fear for my life. I'm thinking like, damn, if you got all of these cops fearing for their life, why are you hiring? Everybody feared for their life. I fear for my life. You're such a sissy. Why are you doing? You should be a garbage man or something. You know? You got a name.
Population control.
How about that? Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Population control. But this is the reason why we tell our people, don't join the oppressor. Because when you join the oppressor, you fall into this custom. Because it says, learn not the way of the heathen. But we tend to fall into their trap. But when you join them, boy, you can make $60,000. And see, that's the Carolina string right there. That's what they they dangle at you right there. You know, and we fall right into it. We fall right into it. We fall into everything that we are not supposed to fall into. Where we at? Are we finished with that?
Sir, give me 1 second.
We just answered your Red's question. Right?
Oh, we answered that question.
Right.
We answered the question.
Where is we at? Was that Psalm 89:23 or?
I believe we were at Psalms 89 and 23. Psalms 89 and 23, and I will beat down his foes before his face and plague them that hate him.
That plague is falling all upon them, right? And we all know the Chinese don't like us. We all know the Japanese don't like us. We know all the Asians don't like us. You understand? They tell us that to our face. What did you do after the sister got beat up in New York, right? In the hair store. What did the heathen say? Listen, check this out. Remember what he said, right? What happened after they beat up the girl? They protested, right? They put a 50% sale off on everything inside, right? 50% off. And everybody dropped their signs and forgot about that. So what did the Korean man come out and say? He said, these people have no dignity. Listen, he didn't say the protesters. He said these people. He was speaking of all of us. We have no dignity. Listen, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right? And I always ask people, have you ever been boycotted? We get boycotted every day. We get silently boycotted every day. These people do not buy from you. They do not do for your community. They do not enhance your community, but they take every nickel and dime out of our community. Right? They silently boycott us, and we openly support them. We openly support them. Something can happen to a brother or a sister, and we'll step right over the brother and sister and say, well, it wasn't me.
Step over the body.
It wasn't me. Well, they ain't do it to me. As long as they don't do it to me, I ain't got nothing to do with it. That's not how our oppressor thinks. That's not how these Asians think. If you do something to one Asian across town, they all boycott you. They all say no to you. They all refuse to do for you. Now, listen, that thing happened up in New York maybe about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, right? They got KC Beauty Outlet in Westside Shopping Center. Nobody but Koreans worked in there. After that thing up in New York happened, they hired all black people.
Yes, they did.
Why did they do it?
So they can keep their clients.
Because we have no dignity. They know if they put a black face there, you won't keep supporting. That's a silent boycott. We know how to keep you niggas in line.
That's weakness.
You know? They know how to do you. They know how to keep you in line. The funny thing is we don't know how to keep them in line. Listen, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Christ said what? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. If we start raising our hand to our people and start supporting our people, because we don't have patience We can't silently boycott one store till it's shut down. Take over that store. Put our people in there. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. You silently boycott that store, put your people in there. Now you support your people. Your people take care of your people. And now that this store is open right here, we all support this store until another one shut down. And every time one store is shut down, we buy that store and put our own people in it. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. We all come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. The kingdom of heaven would be at hand. We would support each other. We would silently boycott the heathen nation. We would silently boycott our oppressor. Listen, 70% of the economy is built on the consumer. I always say this. Who is the consumer? We are. Consumer means to take in. We take in, but we don't give back. We buy, but we don't sell. That's what makes you a consumer. You can't buy and sell and be a consumer. You can't do that. That does not work. That's not what a consumer is. A consumer means you take in, you buy. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a consumer is. 70% of the United States economy is built on the consumer. 70% of the economy is built on us. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. We have all the control and power we need. Voting gets you nowhere. Listen, we've been voting for 55 years. We've been voting, right? What has voting gotten us? Chinese people don't come out and vote. Asians don't come out and vote. East Indians don't come out and vote. Arabs don't come out and vote. Africans don't come out and vote. But they own everything in our neighborhood. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. 70% of the economy is right here. We close our hands to them, this whole nation would shut down. We actually own this whole nation, but we keep giving. We keep giving to everybody. We give to everybody but our own people. You ever seen somebody treat their friends like everything and then treat their own brothers and sisters like crap? That's what we are. We treat every other nation like they gold and treat our own people like crap. This is the reason why Christ said the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We have all the power we need right in our hand. We come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. There's nothing that can stop us. There's nothing that can stop us. Everybody would be following us. It's simple. It's simple. This Bible has everything we need. It tells us think about it, right? The so-called Jewish man took 5 books and owns damn near the world. He owned damn near the world. We won't even crack this book open and take one book. This was written for us. This is our law, statutes, and commandments. This is our Constitution right here. Listen, think about this, right? Think about this. Why is it that we can't get a fair shake when it comes to going to court? Why is it we can't get a fair shake when it comes to going to court? Or when our people get shot and killed on the street, why is it we can't get a fair shake? Because this system was not created for us. When the Constitution was written, Section 1, Article 2 of the Constitution states that we are only 3/5 of a man. So when it says, we the people, that does not include us. We were not written into the Constitution. And this is the reason why every time people bring up the Constitution, we keep failing to get laws passed. You can't ask for civil rights. you don't even have human rights.
Come.
If you are not considered a human, how could they possibly give you civil rights? If you were considered a human, then the Constitution would represent you and you wouldn't need civil rights. This is the reason why they can destroy you on the street and everybody gets off. Everybody gets a pass. After you kill so many animals, though, eventually somebody gotta get locked up. You understand what I'm saying? When you kill so many dogs or so many cats, you got to at some point somebody got to get locked up for it. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why every once in a while you're going to see somebody get probation or get 2 years, because eventually after you kill so many cows and dogs and cats, eventually you got to get somebody got to get got to make an example out of somebody. But you can be damn for sure they gonna get off. Okay. And with that, okay. What are you doing up?
It's like, yeah.
Well, I was like, God damn, that was great. But I'm saying, you can't ask for civil rights if you're not considered a human. Human rights come first. What you should be fighting for is human rights. But because we want to follow our oppressor, because we follow in the footsteps of our oppressor, because we want to lead our oppressor, this is the reason why the Most High says, okay, if you turn your back on me, I'm going to turn my back on you. You understand what I'm saying? This is the reason why we are destroyed people for a lack of knowledge. We are destroyed people for a lack of knowledge. Let's go to Revelation 11 and 8. I know that was one I wanted to get into for one. I think I overran it.
Yeah, Revelations 11 and 8. The book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
He says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city. What are they talking about?
Talking about America, the cities of America.
Who's those dead bodies?
Those dead bodies are dead bodies of Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians.
Dead bodies have lined the streets of America. Every night, anytime you can look at the news and see the dead bodies of our brothers and sisters lying dead in the street. And you know what really gets me? Think about this. Come on. When they shoot a person, right? They allow that body to lay in the street for hours. Why do they do that?
Like your organs, but
No. I said, why do they allow it to lay in the street for hours?
make sure you're dead.
There you go. Listen, I seen them shoot the little Hispanic boy. He was handcuffed, and they shot him, and they let the little Hispanic boy lay there for hours, choking. They let him lay there until he died. They do that all the time. When it's dead people, you ever notice how they scoop theirs up real fast to get them and try to get them to the hospital? But if it's us, they let our bodies lay in the street for hours.
because my son.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because my son actually saved his own life.
Did you?
Somebody, he was on Franklin Street. He went around the way, go to the chicken joint on Pennsylvania Avenue with his
Right.
brother. His brother don't work like that. To make the story short, he seen the person coming.
Right.
So he bent over to the right because they knew when they was trying to shoot him in his head.
Right.
When he bent over, he got his bullet went in his shoulder, but he kept pushing the gas. And he turned the wheel and got into the gas station, hit the propane cage,
Right.
and shattered the glass. 3 minutes away is the ambulance coming around that corner from Emerson Avenue,
Right.
Warwick. I'm grateful for him knowing that he was still conscious.
Right.
And he got himself, and he was hanging out the door when they came out. And he was kind of his foot
Right.
in the ambulance. He went.
Mm.
But if they didn't, we ain't do anything else but been in that, that street there.
Yeah. Definitely. You know, they allow us. Hey, come on. Did they let the two prophets lie in the street in the Bible?
Two prophets lie in the street.
After they had finished prophesying, and the Most High had brought them back. That's in Revelation, right? We let the body of the prophets.
Says Revelations, for 3.5 days, all peoples and all tribes, tongues, and nations.
They let them lie in the street for how long?
And their bodies will lie in the street of the great city.
A long time.
In the street of the great, and their bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right.
Don't say. Oh, Shalakia. For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial.
Right.
If I could,
Go ahead.
when they was lynching us,
Mm-hmm.
and one famous event was the Red Day, which was more like the Red Year.
Right.
They would lynch our parents and leave them on popple trees on the path that we would take to school, that young children would take to school. So they would have to see their parents' faces disintegrating for days upon days, smell their rotting flesh in their bodies as they went to school. This was terrorism.
Yeah.
This was a way to terrorize young black people into submission, into you're going to take anything that I give you and you're going to shut your mouth. I'm going to rape you. I'm going to exploit you. I'm going to do all sorts of criminalities against you and your community. You're going to shut your mouth or you're going to be on a popple tree with your face and your nose falling off, and we're not going to take you down while your children watch. This is an inhumane people.
Exactly. Hey, if I may, right, check this out. I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. I'm going to cut the wound a little bit deeper, right? Think about a single mother raising a son. And she teaches those sons how to be humble and be sissified. You understand? Because she doesn't want to see them destroyed and killed and murdered, so she turns them into sisters. This is the reason why we say the black man gotta be in the household. This is the reason why we say a woman can't raise sons by herself. This is the reason why our brothers are out there running rampant like they are. Because you have a woman raising sons, and she's training them to be submissive. She's training them to be soft. She's training them to be. Did I say the wrong word?
No, you go. It's just time to.
Oh, okay, right, okay. But she's training them to be soft. This is the reason why we say we got to get our brothers back in the household. This is why a woman can't say she doesn't need a man. Every woman needs a man. Because a family consists of a mother, a father, and a child. That's a family. You're not a family if you're just a mother and child. You're not a family if you're just a father and a child. Mother, father, and a child. All right, and with that, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. We have been bringing this truth since 1969. Since 1969, we say that the so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanics and the so-called Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We have classes Monday through Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have Sabbath service from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. If you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. You have to get out into these classes. If you're not out in these classes, you got to be on that online classes. When you're on the online classes, just check in and we'll get you like that. You understand what I'm saying? And with that, I'm going to turn the class over to Police Officer Kawan Palak.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Baltimore, Lord. These security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'ashrah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Congregation, the 51st annual Passover. Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is commanded, absolutely commanded, to come to the 51st annual Passover, man. So don't ever say the ISUPK is divisive. Commanding General Yohana, who is the only head of Israel that has been given the absolute unequivocal authority to make this order, to give this order, to make this request. All Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are to show up at the 51st ISUPK Passover, man. If you want to make this nation work, if you are truly doing this work, if you truly are about blacks and Hispanics, you need to show up, bro. You need to show up. This ain't no joke. This ain't no play game. Commanding General Yohana has reserved an entire stadium. An entire stadium, man. Because he believes in our people. He believes, man. He ain't gonna get him a goddamn Cadillac. He believes in our people. He went and got a stadium to house us so we can work all of this bullshit out.
Right. That's right.
Upcoming Holy Congregation, 51st annual Passover, man. Purim coming up as well. But the 51st annual Passover, everybody show up. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. Is that what you worried about? Wearing all black, being a trooper, not being a leader in Israel? Is that what you worried about? Is that why you won't show up to the 51st annual Passover? Commander General Yohana ain't say nothing about all that. He said, show up. He said, show up. That's all you got to do. You want to add something?
That's what I came to my first Passover in. I had them all black.
Look, it ain't nothing wrong with having some humility. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having humility. I'll show up in all black. It ain't no thing. I'll show up in all black to show humility for the Lord. To show humility for my people. That's what's most important. That my people live. That they thrive. That's what's important. I don't give a damn what happens to me. Commanding General Yohana has given the order. Take advantage of it. We can work all the dumb, ridiculous nonsense out later. We need to come together. Time is short. The Lord is bringing down plagues on the earth. The brother just brought it out. Don't die of a plague that was meant for your enemy. Exactly. The brother just brought it out for hours. Don't do it. Let us come together. Let us choose life. Let us stop choosing death. Let us choose life for each other. And with that, give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. Imagine, bruh. Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
Sir, Sister Stan. One courtesy salute for the sister, men of Israel. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine, bruh. Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shema Dismissed.